What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. I guess this is just a quick session. Don't mind all that mess back there. I'm cleaning my office. I'm rearranging stuff, so that's kind of why it looks kind of funky right now. Anyways, I wanted to go over something like just anybody kind of talk about my process and when how I started my YouTube channel. Originally when I started, it was just this Pixel phone, so it was a lot easier. Sorry, let me get the mic up here. It's a lot easier to get footage into things and stuff, right? And so now that I've grown that, I started developing. After this, I went into Ultra 23 Ultra, and that's how I was recording. And I still wasn't kind of grading anything. I think the most I was doing was putting them through what's that program called? After Effects, but a lot of us, too broke. So now I'm using DaVinci Resolve, which you guys are seeing here in the background. Now I'm using my ZVE10 with the 16 by 55, and I'm getting a new lens, a 9mm, next week, and that should really help us get a lot of this stuff. So really quick, I want to just make a quick video of the process of how I, kind of grade my stuff. So you guys to see here, I have an external hard drive where I keep all my files. Usually I copy from my camera to the computer. So these are all the files here. So I opened up a DaVinci project. First you want to save, so we'll save the project as, so we'll call it GCCL week 9 day. I usually do abbreviations like that. What day is it? 4. This is just so I know I have the project started, right? A couple of things. For me, since I'm not doing a lot of color grading, things to help you out. If you go to playback, when you go to render cache, you can do smart, and that kind of helps you. I don't usually do that. For timeline resolution, I usually go half. I am shooting at 4K, so sometimes my desktop's not like the best desktop in the world, so it's gonna be pretty whack. So a couple things. When you open DaVinci, you might come into a different tab, and it's a little bit different than like other programs, right? At first, you're like, "What the heck is all of this?" But it's actually pretty nice. So here, where you see this little menu here, it's called Cut, is where usually you can drop files. Here, you can have like, if you want to go just directly to your media, you can go here. We can go to YouTube Power. We'll go to, oh, is that the, no, that's not it. It's this one. Expansion, and we go to, where's YouTube videos? GCCL, week 9. Where's week 9? Let's just go to day 4, for example. So here you can see, this is one way to access your media once it's in your desktop, right? Or you can just, so we right click on this, you'll see add to media pool. So when you do add to media pool, it'll add it to here, right here. This is your media pool. So that's one way you can do it. You can go over here, browse, and grab it to your media pool, right? Second way you can do is if you click on this bottom where it says cut, you can go here. You can grab your clips. Say you're gonna bring it from your camera, your phone, and you can just drag it to the media pool. It's gonna ask you, hey, this was so I think I have it set up to 30 frames per second, but the camera is recording like 23.97. It's saying, hey, this is, it's recorded at this rate. Do you want to change it? I'm like, okay, change. So you're gonna click change, and then we'll close this out, and you'll see that everything is here now. So now, how do you create your timeline of clips, right? Easy. So you're gonna drag across your clips, and usually you can sort them. So here's the sorting button. I sort them by numerical, because that's how the camera does it. It goes, sequential clips. You're gonna right click, and you're gonna go create a timeline. You're gonna create. Ta-da! There's your clip down here. So cut is where you're gonna do all your cutting. So we're gonna shorten up. Sorry. So we're gonna shorten your clips. You're gonna do all your stuff that's there. Now remember, this is beginner. I'm a beginner. I'm just showing you guys how to get your footage into DaVinci, and you'll see why. So for example, let's say for example, so here you can drag on this thing and moves it back and forth. The reason I went half resolution, it keeps it a little better. And this is my footage non-graded. So now you want to add a cool effect, right? So let's get a good position so we can see the color effects. Here you have your, this is where you're basically going to add effects like from your toolbox. There's all kinds of effects that are included with DaVinci, like title text, lower thirds, all that stuff. Here's where you add it. It's very simple too. You're usually just drag and drop. For example, let's zoom in here. Say for example, there's one effect I always use, which is this jitter, I think. So we'll drop, you just drag, drop. Very simple, clean, done. Pops in there, right? Pretty simple. Again, beginners. So, say you want to edit this effect. Where do we do it? On the right side here, you're going to see there's all this information. So we click here, see it changes. So we click on this here, we can change the title right here, text. Let's just say example, brah. So that's your text. So again, cut tab, you're gonna cut stuff. So now we go, let's delete this for now, but say we're gonna delete we want to cut away this entry portion, right? You're gonna drag where you're gonna want it, and then you're gonna for example, we're gonna click in Windows, on Windows, Control B. I think in Mac is that little symbol B, and there, boom, it created a cut, so we can delete that cut. So now you can drag this over here. I'm sure there's an easier way to do it, but that's how I do it right now. And that's our right. So that's basically what you're gonna do in cut. Cut is just, you're gonna modify things. You can do crop left, crop right. You can do all kinds of things here. You can stabilize, blah blah, blah. Lens correction. So it's all here in your cut menu. And then if we switch over to the composition menu, you still have some of those things, but it's not as effective, right? Now you have this menu here, which is your fusion menu. So fusion is, think about it as like effects that are already compiled, and you can find a bunch of fusion effects that are already in here. That's a little too complex for this video, but basically that's where you add effects. So when you see those cool like shifting effects and all this crazy stuff, it happens here. After that, we have this, which is where everybody freaks out, and it's your color correction stuff. And it's we'll keep it simple, nothing crazy, right? We're always gonna have three main corrections, right? Your exposure, your contrast, your balance for your highs and lows, and your saturation. So what you're gonna do, and I won't show you, the shortcut is Alt S for Windows, and it'll create this extra one, which is next to the next node. But if you want to right click here, you can go right here where it says add node, and you're gonna add it serial. You could do before or after, and there it goes. So we want exposure, contrast, and then balance, and then saturation. And the last one, which I'll show you guys, because you guys are here for the film cool look, right? Film look. Usually you can rename them, so I'll rename this exposure just so you keep it knowing where you're at. And this one's gonna be balance. I do simple because I know I'm only using these. Like, you can go crazy color grading, but this is beginner YouTubers. You don't need some crazy color grading. Saturation, and then this one would be our film look. All right. So because I'm shooting already in Rec 709, which is what every computer screen in the world looks at, I don't need to do a conversion transformation. That could be another video. But usually, if you shoot an S-Log2, you would do, if you top here, you can search for CST, which is color, and you have color space transform, CSP. Basically, this lets you convert from like a certain type of footage to another type of footage. You don't need it here yet, but usually if you're getting your new camera, you're going to be shooting standard. You don't need that yet, unless you shoot it to like HLG3, S-Log2, or S-Log3. This is beginners. This is for us basic YouTubers. All right, so we're going to click on exposure here, and just the information on the internet is that you're going to click on this little left wheel here on the bottom left. Oh, my screen's on it, but you guys will see where my arrow is right there. It's called the HDR grade wheel. You'll see this panel switches. So this is what controls basically everything. Your lights, your darks, your shadows, your gamma, your everything. We're going to hop right here to global. Let me move my freaking thing. It's way, let's see, let's move it. Where do we move it to? Let's go, oh wait, that's the wrong one. This one, how do I move this one? All right, let's move it up here. Okay, there. So this is your HDR, and then we clicked on the exposure node here. So then so what this does is it lets you adjust little things in your picture without destroying your original footage. So it's like a very interactive way to do it. So we're gonna click our exposure here. I usually go to global, and then you see you can adjust up or down. And HDR is a little better because it does gradual increases. Like, I'm not a colorist, so I kind of just go eyeball it where I think that's pretty good. This little histogram here on the left side tells you basically if your shadows, so the bottom portion is your shadows and the top portion is your highlights. So here we can see the top is clipping a lot, right? We'll get to that. So once you adjust your exposure here, we're going to click on the contrast one. And then a good rule of thumb is go back here down to the second wheel here and see how it switches. Where it says contrast. Now on the internet, I forgot, a lot of YouTubers say that you should change your pivot point to 0.336. And I guess this kind of focuses the contrast on just the midpoint. So we click the contrast. Contrast usually you can go 1.2, 1.3, 1.25. Already we're looking much better. If you go way higher, you guys will see you get a really nice tone. So I think for this purpose we'll go 1.2. And now we're a little highlight, right? Okay, done. Next node, click on BA, which is our balance node. And for balance nodes, a tip I found, there's a lot of YouTubers, I can't remember exactly who did it, but I know there's the YouTubers that say this. You're gonna right click your node, you're gonna go to gamma and change it to linear. So balance usually is everything that's, your white balance, everything, right? Usually you can tell your waveform, or if you click your parade, you see that we're pretty balanced. I guess our blue is a little low here, so we can lower our blue a little bit, and then it kind of balances that. So you're gonna use gamma basically to correct the balance. And then you can see here that we're clipping at the top, right? Our shadows are good. We're all at the bottom. So to modify our shadows, we're gonna go to the gain here, and you'll see if we adjust the gain, that top portion, you see how it moves up and down. And we don't want those to be clipping, because that means we're overexposed on the highlights. So you want to lower them just a bit, just where they barely touch that top plane. So now you guys can see a big difference here. So if we go, we'll go before and after, or turn them off, so you guys see. So I'll turn everything off so you guys can see little by little how it goes. So you have pretty gray screen here. We turned on exposure, our contrast, our balance for the color, and now we're in saturation. So saturation, also you guys want to click here, which is this button here, and we're gonna go. I usually go 1.1. Let's get those colors to pop. You guys can see here how big a difference it makes. You don't want to go too high either, like. So I figured always 1.1 to 1.05 works pretty good. So now we got a good kind of tone. I guess my face is a little whack, but I suck at color grading. This is just an example for you guys. So now we set up our exposure, our contrast, our balance, our saturation, right? So we're doing pretty good. Let's see our waveform. Now waveform, you want it as white as possible. Obviously, I'm not a colorist, so I'm just trying to show you guys a quick way. So once you get all that, you got your look right there. So you can see here, you see a little color. It says, oh, this has been colored, right? So now if you want to apply, like, say, a film look to this, what you're going to end up doing is you're going to go to your LUTs here. On the top left, you'll see it says LUTs. And automatically DaVinci has a bunch of LUTs that you can add. Some of the ones are like the film looks, is like if you want to do a specific look, and that's why I added this last node here called film. So you guys can see, we're gonna say we add there's a Kodak one that I like here, and if they're too heavy, don't worry, I'll show you how to reduce it. Where's the Kodak one? There it is, Kodak. So I also have other ones that I like personally. They're different, like this one here. I like this one. Okay, that one right there. So the way to do it is you're going to grab it and just drag it to your film look. So now you see it's a little strong, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to go to, where's it at? Masking on a key. And you make sure you're clicking on the film look, and you see here where it says key output. That basically can control how strong that look is. So we go to the right, see how it's really strong. And there. Yeah, exposure is a little high. So we're going to jump down to exposure. Check that, there we go. Probably a little bit higher right there. So that's basically a rough estimate of how you got that stuff, right? So now let's say you finished, you're grading your first, and you know your next shots are the same, almost the same. Then what you can do is you can shift click. So we'll do these next 5, and then you'll see here there it's the same kind of, not too punchy, nothing crazy, right? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna click on the last one here, whichever you have, shift, and then click the next ones. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna click your middle mouse button, so this little middle mouse button, while you're over this first one that we graded. So we click the middle mouse button. It's gonna say, hey, do you want to replace the grade? Yes. And boom, all those are done now. So you guys can see, we can turn it off so you guys can see. Now we have graded everything here, and you're done. That's your grading. So it's not too crazy. It gets a little bit used to it. I'm not a pro. I'm just beginning and learning. So I just want to show you guys my process for YouTube, right? Now, you're going to click on this little rocket at the bottom. And that's basically your export on how to get it to YouTube, right? Luckily, DaVinci has this thing on the top. It says YouTube. So you just got to click YouTube, your 4K, give it a name, give it a location, and you're done. You're going to click add render to queue. It'll add it over here on this side. So we add here. Oh, sorry. It's trying to give me a name. Let's go la 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 la. And then we'll go somewhere, right? It just doesn't matter right now. And then we're going to add to render queue. And boom, it comes up over here. So this is your list of renders that you want to render. So you can do multiple timelines and render at the same time. You're going to click render all, and it'll run through everything to render, right? Done. Simple, clean. So what do I do after I render? So after we render, let me tell you guys. I'm going to go to Canva, canva.com. It's free. You can look for stuff here. So we can, for example, templates. Let's look for YouTube thumbnail. So we go here. And they have all these thumbnails that you can pick and choose, right? For example, let's make sure that I have a little like crown in the bottom, and then that's kind of, those are, you have to pay for, but like most of these that don't have anything, you can use right away. For example, let's see, let's find an interesting one. This one's okay. Let's go. I'm trying to find an interesting one. We'll do this one because I already had, or yeah, we'll do, wait. Oh, this one's pretty cool too. I mean, personally, I don't like paying for it, so I don't pay for it, but let's see. And this is quicker because obviously you don't want to go to Photoshop and all that to do this stuff, right? You want to just something quick. Email, let's see. You can also do fitness and it'll pop up, I guess. So let's do fitness. Before they used to have like a little browser. Okay, here we go. Let's just say we're going to use this one here, right? You're going to click it. Boom. It says customize template. It's going to take you to your new room. And usually what I'll do is I'll grab a screenshot from the whatever I exported, right? So I already have some here. We'll use these, right? Let's just, for example, and you're just going to basically drag and drop. So we'll drag, I don't know. We'll do this one. So that basically imports it into the template, right? So then you're going to press Alt-1. And that brings up your hierarchy of the layers, right? So we want this to be over here. Now this is just an image. We don't need it. We're going to use this image. And then you're going to blow it up. Oh, wait. Does that? No, okay. Just making sure. So we don't need that one. But we're going to grab this one. And you can just drag it to the size of the window. Usually your YouTube camera thumbnail are about the same size. And then I want it over here, right there. And then I'm going to drag this over here because we want to mimic that other one. Zoom out. We're going to drag this to the edge. So that's easy. You clip. And then we're going to edit it. And we want to put a cool black and white. Let's do ink. Okay, that one kind of mimics the other one. This one, I like that one. But slate's pretty clean too. So we can do that one. And then we'll click that. And then we can edit it again. And I want to blur everything on the background. So usually I'll go here to effects and we'll go to autofocus. And that lets you control how far back you can blur a background, for example. So you guys can see there, like no blur, more blur. And then we can change the focus position, so we want it there. Boom, we got a nice little clean thing. I'll just say blueprint, GCCL, week 9, day 4. Here we can just type in a catchy phrase. Let's see, massive deadlift day. I don't need that one. And then here we can just do episode 36, for example. And you're done. That's your thumbnail right there. So now we're going to click File, Download. I wouldn't change any of this because you don't know exactly. And then here, it doesn't let you limit the file size or the compression. So before you can do like a crazy big size, but then limit it to the thumbnail size and you get higher resolution. Download it. So you'll see here it'll start your download. It takes a little bit, so we gotta wait. Download to wherever you're gonna do it. I think, for example, this is day 3. We'll just put it there, for example. And you're done. There you go. Now you've created your video and your thumbnail. Now, one of the ways that you can do optimize this kind of process is ChatGPT. And I think that'll be in the next video. I'll show you guys how to set up a pipeline of things to process your videos, create descriptions, create tags, and all this stuff, right? So anyways, hope you guys like that quick little process in my head of how I do my videos. I try not to over edit as much. I just want to correct the colors. Usually I just want it to be to you guys raw and uncut. Anyways, let me know if you guys like the video. Click in the comments down below. I can search information for you guys. Next video I'll post is how to do ChatGPT to optimize your video description, tags, and everything. So click below for the next video.